I'm Herb Lawrence from CHGO White Sox.
I'm Jay Zawaski from CHGO Blackhawks.
And this is CHGO Tavern Style. And today we are discussing which of the major men's and women's postseasons are the best. I have my opinion, but I'm going to let Jay Zawaski, Mr. Hockey, speak about his opinion on the postseason.
All right, well, so my opinion varies because I'm looking at this from two angles. I'm looking at this as, is my team in it? Am I watching it from a rooting aspect, or am I watching it from the perspective of someone just casually watching it? My team's out of the playoffs. I don't really care who wins. So I think there's two separate answers.
Okay.
If my team is in it, there is nothing more stressful, nothing more terrifying, nothing more miserable than baseball playoffs. Every pitch is a heart attack. Every moment is fearful. There is so much tension. There is so much dead space just reserved for panic.
Yes.
You know, at least like in hockey or basketball, there's ebbs and flows of the game, and you kind of know when a chance is going to come. In hockey, football, same deal. But in baseball, every time that ball is thrown, something catastrophic can happen for your team. And for me, watching the Cubs in 15, 16, and 17 took probably 15 years off my life. That 2017 series against the Nationals that they actually ended up winning was horrible. Horrible. It was so stressful. I like pulled my hair out with what's left of it. It was just brutal. And baseball playoffs, as a fan that's invested, are the hardest to watch.
I hear you. And as a team, as a person who likes the White Sox that don't go to the playoffs that much, the times that they do, which 05 was a breeze. It was, man, that was great. 11-1 record. I was like, no stress at all. I was
Handled
killing.
well, yeah.
But the other couple times they've been in since 08 and 2020 and 2021, see you really quickly. It wasn't really a chance to actually get stressed about it. And game 3 was orgasmic. Like, of the 2021 season, where we won one game versus the Houston Astros, where Luis Garcia hit that home run. It was one of the best days of my life because of just winning one playoff game. So I get what you're saying with baseball. It is both chaotic and also euphoric when your team wins. But as a whole, as a general thing, if I don't have a rooting interest, so the NBA, I don't really have a team. The Bulls, I am a casual observer, not really a fan because I don't care if they win or lose. Yeah. And they're not in the playoffs as of late. But the NBA playoffs, since they switched, when I was a kid, it was that first round is a best of 5, and then all the rest of them were best of 7. I think the NBA playoffs, since they switched to a best of 7 for all the rounds, and also having these play-in games for teams that are 7 through 10, I think it's much better than everything else. And also at the end of that playoff, it rewards the team that is the best team in basketball. The Celtics were the best team in the East the whole year, and you had a toss-up between both Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Denver in the West. And weirdly enough, none of those teams made it to the actual NBA Finals. But those games where Minnesota went against Denver, action-packed. Same thing with Minnesota going against Dallas. Like, those are great games. And NBA Twitter, there is nothing better than actually sharing your thoughts with other people who are watching the game at the same time that you are and seeing the same things that you are and getting perspectives that maybe you didn't think about. For baseball, I think that there's so much, like, things that happen in baseball playoffs where you can lead to a team and two teams in the World Series that barely made the playoffs at all. There are 2 wildcard teams in Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. So I can get why a team and a fan base would be like, oh, yeah, baseball is the best because anybody can win. Anybody can get hot in those months. When we saw it last year and every single year. But I don't like that randomness, especially if I'm a team that's at the top or a fan that's at the top of that.
I have to chime in and just say the most fun that I've ever had watching any sport is the Hawks 2010 to 2015 run. And you can just bring up a ton of different games. Marcus Kruger scoring in a 3 overtime game in 2015. You could bring up the Seabrook goal against the Red Wings
my favorite
in the
moment.
playoffs. Yep. My Lord. You could bring up 17, I was going to say 17 goals in 33 seconds. I don't think it was that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it was. I don't think it was that.
2 goals in 17 seconds.
2 goals in 17 seconds. And just, I mean, even Antti Niemi standing on his head in those San Jose series. Like, I always thought that the Stanley Cup playoffs just kind of always brought it, no matter what the teams were. especially because I wasn't a diehard in hockey, I could just turn it on and I don't know who the star players are. It's just, at any point this game could end.
Well, and that's what I'm saying too. Like, first of all, to your point about the NBA, shifting to a best of 7 is smart. I feel like best of 5s are they're not satisfying because, for instance, had the NHL final, Stanley Cup final been best of 5, it'd be over by now.
Yeah.
And now we've got Game 6 tomorrow night. By the way, Game 6 tomorrow night. Greg, Mario, and I are going to be at Salerno's on Grand, right there at Grand and Racine. Coming out, watch the game with us, drink some Coors Light, eat some Salerno's. It's going to be an awesome time, so come join us out there. Make your reservation, 312-666-3444, because we are Tavern Style here, is brought to you by Salerno's. But to your point, Game 7 is more 7 games is more satisfying. You feel like the true team deserved to win. I see what you're saying about the randomness, and as a fan of a baseball team that's not usually in the playoffs, that randomness can give you hope a little bit, but I do feel like extended 7-game series always establish the better team. Almost always. So, yeah, now and again, you're going to get your NHL team that makes a run, maybe gets to the conference final or even the cup final. But when it's all said and done, usually the winner is pretty satisfying. And you look at this year, Edmonton and Florida, a lot of people's preseason picks for the cup final. All of a sudden, it's a series. You got Connor McDavid ready to make history. He's about to break Wayne Gretzky's playoff scoring record, which many thought Wayne Gretzky. Okay. He's Brent Gretzky's brother.
Yeah.
Does that help?
No, I mean, people name Wayne. I mean, did he play in the 40s? Like, Wayne's a really old name.
No. Wayne's an old name? I never thought of Wayne as an old name.
Wayne Gretzky, Wayne Newton.
Wayne Messmer.
They're
all old.
I mean,
Wayne Campbell.
None of these people are babies.
Wayne Randazzo.
All right.
Well, Wayne Randazzo might be the youngest person we named.
Yeah. But yeah, to your point about hockey and Sean's point about hockey, I've always enjoyed...
And about Wayne's.
I've always enjoyed hockey playoffs, even though I'm not a Blackhawks fan. The run that they had was great. Also, anytime you get in playoff hockey, and like I said, the atmosphere as far as community, as far as Twitter goes, it's a cesspool sometimes. But the community that you get when you're watching NHL hockey and the Stanley Cup Final, especially, and you get that John Buccigross challenge in the overtime.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, those are the best times where you're guessing, who's going to score that overtime goal to get the winner. Like you're talking about the Brent Seabrook one. I was like, oh, God, that was just so euphoric when you get that goal finally going in there. And I know on the other side, I think was the Kings who won a game.
Game 7 Nick Letty's ass.
Yeah, and so those things they can go for you or against you, but you're on the edge of your seat no matter what. It's a great atmosphere. So hockey will also probably get my second seat, then baseball, then the NFL. Because the NFL, to me, is anticlimactic. It's going to be the goddamn Chiefs every year until Patrick Mahomes either retires or breaks his leg.
Yeah, and it's like 5 hours, and it's like, okay. Football games, you kind of know how they're going to go right away.
Yeah.
Now and again, you had the Patriots come back against the Falcons, but that's pretty rare. I mean, I don't know. I think anytime you have a 7-game series, you're going to have stars be the stars, the best teams be the best teams, and ultimately a satisfying ending. I got to give the edge to hockey over basketball simply because of the sudden death element of overtime, where in a blink of an eye it can end. It can go 3, 4, 5, 6 overtimes, and then finally a puck goes in. And I've been on both sides of those. I was there when the Hawks won overtime games in the playoffs. I've been there when they lost. And when you lose a playoff overtime game, it is the worst, most sinking feeling because you're full of hope, you're super excited, and it's like, whoa, it's like deflating a balloon. And you kind of look around like, was that real? Did that happen? That didn't count, right? There's something illegal about that shot. Nope, you just have to go home now.
I would compare it to like getting stabbed right before you finish a marathon. It's like I did 26.1 miles and then I was brutally murdered.
All right, we've made our opinions known. So what are your opinions?
I was going to say the same thing.
Please leave them in the comments. This has been CHGO Tavern Style, presented to you by Salerno's Pizza.
Yeah, we solved nothing. Good job.
We all silly like the mayor.